We're back now with two-time Oscar winner Denzel Washington. Yes, he's teamed up once again with director Spike Lee for the new movie Highest to Lowest. Always wonderful to have you here.
Thank you.
I don't even see anybody right now. I just see you. No one else is here on the couch.
We open on a moment that still defies logic on paper, because we've spent decades believing Denzel Washington cannot be rattled, cornered, or pulled into any situation he hasn't already calculated 5 steps ahead. Yet when we look back at the footage from that live morning broadcast in early 2025, something else is unfolding. We see a 70-year-old Hollywood icon, fresh from producing August Wilson adaptations and shattering Broadway records with Athel, realize in real time that Michael Strahan's line of questioning isn't a misfire but a trigger. The public was told to view the exchange as a simple walk-off, a flash of frustration, but the deeper we dig the clearer it becomes.
All right.
Okay, are we going to leave that alone?
I'm not there yet. I'm on my way. Still got that.
Watch out, Strahan. Yeah.
Oh,
No. I got to respect the professionals.
I got to keep a jacket on. I can't keep up. You know what? The only thing to be better than me is being Denzel. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, that's saying something, because you don't go there.
I don't go there, but I want to be you.
That this wasn't Denzel losing control. It was Denzel executing a deliberate power move on national television, while Strahan never noticed he'd stepped into a trap months in the making. Strahan, an NFL Hall of Famer turned daytime host known for charm, timing, and that trademark disarming grin, is no accidental provocateur, yet insiders insist this moment wasn't about Denzel's patience thinning, it was about Strahan misreading a man who had just become a Pentecostal minister in December 2024, days before turning 70, and whose public persona had sharpened into something more disciplined, grounded, and spiritually focused. The disrespect was glaring, especially when we consider Denzel had spent 2024 filming Gladiator 2 with Ridley Scott, collecting a reported $20 million paycheck, and publicly reaffirming his dedication to faith and family. So when Strahan's questions dismissed decades of artistic range, from Shakespeare to action thrillers to biographical dramas, industry phones lit up instantly. One producer from the control room claimed Strahan was told to stick to the script but insisted on going off book to keep it real, yet his on-air tone revealed something else. He didn't just question Denzel's serious roles, he implied creative stagnation in the man who played Malcolm X, carried fences to a reaching out to the network for a while.
It's easy, Michael.
You always put me on the spot.
Man to man, son to son. What would you do?
Advertisers demanded assurances that morning segment standards would remain professional, and these weren't casual requests, they were formal, contract-tied inquiries linked to brand image and scheduling for the rest of the broadcast quarter. Because advertisers are the backbone of morning television, the tone inside the building shifted instantly. Producers who once defended Strahan's improvisational style began using words like risk, exposure, and liability. The fallout wasn't public, but it was immediate. Meanwhile, Denzel simply returned to his life, attending Athel rehearsals at the Barrymore Theatre, where the production was pulling in over $2.8 million weekly by March 2025, and preparing for his next slate of films. Yet behind that silence, something was taking shape. This is a man who once wrote, "The wages of sin is tragedy," on the cover of his Training Day script and told Esquire he no longer worries about the industry's discomfort with faith because, "I'm free now." Those aren't the words of someone seeking sympathy, they're the words of someone who understands leverage. As the clip gained traction, Strahan attempted to soften the narrative with a brief apology that studio insiders say was more about calming executives than addressing the root of what happened, but Denzel's silence continued, and it wasn't passive. Within a week, according to multiple sources, he began making calls, not to agents.
What my mother said to me was, "Denzel, you do a lot of good, but you must do good the right way." She said, and you know what I'm talking about. Can't buy your way in. Can't love your way in. You gotta serve. You gotta do good the right way.
Behind that silence, or ABC, but to the cultural, philanthropic, and artistic figures he spent decades building relationships with, people who don't respond to drama, but respond when Denzel says something isn't right. Whatever he was initiating wasn't about an apology, it was about accountability. And as Strahan's apology circulated while the network quietly reshuffled internal staff assignments, whispers emerged that Denzel's next move had nothing to do with morning television at all. It was bigger, something Strahan never anticipated when he looked.
19 memoir, Compton Street Legend, where he repeatedly placed himself in the white Cadillac and described passing a 40 caliber weapon to the back seat before shots were fired. It is in that same body of statements that the alleged music mogul Sean Diddy Combs once floated a 7-figure offer for the heads of Shakur and Suge Knight, allegations that Diddy has denied for years and that investigators have never used to bring formal charges against him. When we line up these threads, the grave in North Carolina stops being just a human detail and starts to look like part of a much larger struggle over power, narrative, and control. On one level, it is a deeply personal story. A mother, Afeni, who survived FBI scrutiny as a former Panther, quietly choosing sanctuary in the early 2000s, and, according to Perlman's reporting, arranging for her son's name to be carved into stone there while the rest of the world debated whether he was secretly on another level. It connects directly to hard legal fights
where he
unfolding
leads
decades
me,
later.
I will follow. And sometimes it's in the valley. You know, like this role, the wages of sin is. There's no point in worrying about or thinking that it doesn't exist. You know, it's interesting that a role like this is celebrated. You know, we're at the doorstep. You know, pick a side. I know where I am, and I know where I'm going. So I'm not worrying about what I'm doing. I know who leads.